It's the department for where you get all your parts. Do you not have a parts department? You should have a parts department. All right, lads. Last week, you successfully murdered the shit out of one Mr. Vasily. I don't think I gave him the last name, so there's that. You, in addition, retrieved his compad, biostasis, his bodyguard, and showed no sympathy to an old woman whose son was potentially being somewhat mean to her. I think so. Yeah. In the TV show that is this game, we cold open on an exterior shot of a hospital. It's sort of mid fall time frame on this world, and all along the bottom of the screen you see Asa Peneleus Mercy Hospital 22:32 local time, and it cuts in sharply to a nurse pushing on a one of the movable bed things. It's actually gravity, like it's anti-grav, so it's like hovering. There's no wheels, and she's pushing on it and saying, he's in some sort of coma. It's preserving him, doctor. He's clearly had some psychic medical attention. Wait, doctor, he's waking up." And the camera pans down to see Sergey in this this gurney. And his eyes are glazed over, and he's looking up at the hospital lights, sort of in awe. And he says, I believe." And then it fades to white, and the intros roll. And then we come back, and we see the Jack Rose, sort of that classic Star Trek shot where you just see the ship flying through space, and then they cut to the captain in his ready room, where he's looking over his emails, and he sees three subject lines. The first one is "Bounty raised on Harold Toothless McElloynigan." I don't know why I made that. I think I chose that name because it was funny, and I cannot pronounce it. So I'm going to put it in chat. So he sees "Bounty raised on Harold Toothless McElloynigan." You also see that the MSS Basilisk has been spotted in H0705. And then you see another email that just says, "That thing I asked you about." What do you want to do, Tacitus?
I'm gonna open that email about that thing I asked you about.
In it says, "It's been several weeks. Are you planning on getting that job done anytime soon? Rico is he's a moving target / circumference."
I'm gonna ask the crew if anyone remembers a name called Rico.
I'm going to assume that you had notes on this job written down somewhere, because you have received several things. We kind of ended up doing more Peanut stuff, but this is the job that the mysterious man from the circumference gave you. Actually, I think Clippy pops up and starts saying all this, and he's just like, it seems like you're trying to remember about a job. Would you like some help with that?
Yes.
And then it scrolls through all this detail about this mysterious man from the circumference, and it shows you like a video clip of you talking with him, which you're not really sure how that video clip came to be, because there was no one, as far as you know, recording it. And he's talking about Rico Munoz, who's your target. He's on Gonzalez Afra. You need to retrieve some data. The guy's saying that Rico's expendable, but we need this data from him. And just this guy is saying, and then he's going to be able to help. Originally, he was going to be able to help Patrick and Lorne with some of their troubles with Peanuts and the law and all that. Now it's just going to be like a favor that he owes you, basically.
And where is the mystery ship, supposedly?
The mystery ship? You mean the Basilisk?
Yes.
705.
HO705, which is right there on that ping.
So it's going to take a while to get there.
Forever.
Yeah, it's a ways away.
Was there a third option, or was it just these two?
The last thing was that Harold Toothless McElroyd McElroyd
We go kill
whatever.
him for the bounty.
The bounty's gone up on him.
And what is
And
his bounty for?
yeah, so you can click on the email, and in the email it's talking about Harold Toothless McElroyd, aka Harry the Tooth, aka Harry Two Teeth, is wanted for the wanton murder of no less than 10 individuals in the Shada province. Last seen in the ASA system, believed to be headed towards Afra with the intention of escaping to the People's Republic. The bounty is now 100,000 credits alive, 75,000 dead. Target is considered armed and very dangerous.
I'm
It's
gonna
got
go
like a
talk
bug
to the
shot him.
crew. I'm thinking we take the contract out for the bounty, get some cold hard cash, and we're right next to it.
See, the all the or the problems we had was on Conseco, right? Like that's where we're most wanted right now.
Yeah, that's your rap sheet is primarily Conseco.
Okay.
So you would know a bit about your rap, like you'd have so Mal certainly would have a sense of rap sheet. Mal has I think something like 20 counts against him on Conseco Ballesteros. There is an email floating around like saying you need to like Tacitus needs to show up on Conseco Ballesteros. They don't know that. As far as you know, they don't know that Malcolm is on the ship with you. That you have a couple of counts on Asa as well. Malcolm certainly does, and I think you're wanted for questioning Alistair. And you probably would have got an email about that. Someone would have space mailed you and said, you're wanted for questioning in regards to this event that happened, very recently. Tim, can you give me the current date that you have for
I
the game?
I have listed November 15th, 3259.
Perfect. I need to open up my thing. So I upgraded to Windows 10 today, and now all my stuff is in the wrong place. Like I don't have any of my shortcuts, and I had to shut all my windows and stuff, and I can't find anything.
Curious.
Hey Cortana, open Excel. Holy shit! Oh no, I didn't want you to search it, you piece of shit.
Would you like help opening Excel?
No fucking kidding, right? Piece of
There needs to be a Clippy theme for Cortana.
Oh man, that would be so awesome. I would actually use that.
They need Alfred for Windows, or just every.
Man, I was talking to my wife the other day about when we have a house, and I'm like, I'm gonna rig this shit up. There's all sorts of like house automation software, and so Sarah is a electrical engineer. I'm a software engineer slash DevOps guy. I could fucking wire up my house, man. She could do the electrical stuff. I could do the not electrical stuff. I'm gonna be like, Alfred, open the door, and just gonna, yes, sir, of course.
I was thinking more of the Alfred Mac app, but that works too.
Where did I put this thing? Yeah. So what are you guys looking to do?
I think
We go
should
hunt the big
take
dude.
contract.
But it's on Asa, right? So that's where he was last
Well,
seen?
so the thing said he was on Asa, or last seen on Asa, heading towards Afra. Which is in the Gonzales system. So it's like middle of that green area.
You're saying for the neutral zone. So that's
Yes.
the one where we nearly got blasted by Russian Empire people.
Yeah, and it said in the thing that it seemed like he was well,
if we head towards Gonzalez, we could cut him off, get there before him, and then particularly look into that other circumference job. We're not transporting a psychic with aliens on it this time, so maybe we could just have a ship inspection, go about our business.
That makes sense.
We might also want to go and double check before we leave to make sure we may not potentially run into another gigantic set of two capital fleets about to engage each other?
Just as a note, there's very little probability that anyone would tell you where the capital fleets are.
Damn it.
We could always ask.
I mean, you could ask like what areas are like for safe travel and stuff. But it's not strictly the case that people are like they're not going to give you sensitive military information without doing like you're going to have to like bribe someone if you want that information. That's a thing as a criminal you would know. And like you might know somebody, like you could make a culture criminal roll to see if you know somebody who might have access to that kind of information, but it's not like you can just like they don't tell you about deployments, right? Like they're not going to tell you about that stuff because they don't want that leaking to the enemy. Or in this case, the other government.
Want to just go for it? Fill up and go?
Where are we going?
Gonzalez system?
I think we should go to Asa first to see if we can find out where he left from. Well, if he was going to Gonzalez, maybe just go there.
Yeah, try and head him off, one. And two, we did recently just commit partial robbery there not too long ago.
On Asa?
Yeah, that's where
I
we
thought it
just...
was on the planet we're on now.
No. So you're on Belanda. That's the system you're in. You're on Belanda Zandua, is the name of the planet. Last time you were on Asa, on the only habitable planet there is Peneleus. And that's where you tracked down and killed Vasily and took his phone.
Okay, it makes more sense now. Yeah, let's go to the G planet.
Yeah.
All right. Shit. Let's fuel up before we go. That's probably a good idea. We're fueled up.
Okay. Make sure
Okay.
you take all the money for that. When's the last time you had maintenance?
A week ago.
Okay. So yeah, you're due for maintenance at the end of this month. You're technically due for the maintenance at the end of every month. And I haven't been particularly good about enforcing that. But basically, if you go for more than 3 months, we're going to have to roll to see what thing breaks entirely. And in between, the 1 and 3 months range, so let me put it this way. It's 3 months plus or minus a roll of a 1d3. So it'll be like plus or minus 1, and I'll roll the 1d3 in secret. So
All right.
we'll figure out what happens. Yeah, so you can head over to Gonzales. It looks like 3 jumps to get there if you take the most direct route. Is that your plan?
Let's do it.
Yeah, I think that's going to have to be our plan anyway. We only have 3 fuel slots.
All right, go ahead and give me some navigation rolls, Mr. Navigator.
1 sec. Okay.
All right, you did fine there. Give me another one. Perfect. Give me one more.
You just rolled 3 straight 10s.
Hot.
Off to
Okay,
a
yeah.
good start.
So you land. You take a straight shot there, and get there without any issue. Make sure you take off 9 days worth of rations. It has now been 9 days total. During that trip, what were you guys doing for the week and change? Were you just hanging around, or anything in particular?
I was reading about our target, trying to find out information.
Okay. Can you make a? What kind of roll do I want you to make? So what kind of material were you reading about this guy?
Police reports, any sort of public record documentation I can find.
Yeah, go ahead and make a tactics roll against your intelligence. Yeah, so just going over the various materials you're able to get. I mean, most of it's like public record stuff. I mean, they put a bounty on them, so there's no shortage of information from the usual sources. You were able to find that the murders he was wanted for, it was one mass murder. He basically went in and went postal on this factory. There was, half a dozen or a dozen workers there, and he killed most of them. It was a weapons factory. They were producing ammo, like just projectile ammo. And you also found out that he's a former like military officer. This guy, he he served in the old government's military for the better part of 10 or so years. He was dishonorably discharged and he was basically a grunt. He's kind of like just like a general infantryman. He wasn't like special forces or anything, but he's just a grunt. And he fought in some of the Brailment Wars that they had during the unification of the original government. So, yeah, that's what you learned about him. What about you other guys? What are you guys doing?
I am shining my very, very shiny laser Desert Eagle pistol thing that I stole off the body of Vasily.
Okay. Price?
I'm gonna hang out in the ship and eat brownies.
All right. Yeah, I mean, you're running low on brownies at this point. Like, eventually you're going to run out. Someone will have to make some more. Yeah, so you arrive on Afra, and when you get into the system, it's actually really confusing. Usually when you come into a new system, there's like a little blurb that pops up, and it's like, welcome to the blah system, and we are currently controlled by this government, and it's like an exchange standard thing. So the exchange is like that neutral power that sort of coordinates transport and stuff across the system. And when you get to Afra, it's actually like garbled, and you get 3 or 4 different versions of this. One of them is from the exchange, and it's the usual welcome to Afra. It's currently a contested region. There's no notable government. There are multiple powers vying for blah, blah, blah. But you also get another message from a group that it's just a big black angel shape. And it says underneath, outsiders are unwelcome. And underneath that message, it just says, Angeles de la Muerte. Yeah, so you were able to get onto the planet, though, no problem. And you land in, a shipyard. What do you guys want to do?
I want to fill up on gas first, since we don't have any.
Go ahead and knock off the cost of that. What's your bank account look like for the ship?
80,000.
Okay. Yes, you got plenty of money there.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we need to start trying to figure out where this man might have gone. I'm thinking we try to find people from his unit. Maybe find out who he knows, where he might go, especially if someone on this planet.
We can exclude dentists.
Nice.
We probably should throw orthodontists on that list too. Something tells me he doesn't have any of that work done.
Okay, I'm gonna discuss amongst yourself what you want to do. I need to practice this guy's accent for a second.
Maybe we can go. You think there might be a VA office we can hit up?
Maybe, but this is a contested world. If there's a VA office that might be slightly contested. This is a neutral kind of world, though, that's contested. Might be able to go and make contact with a couple people via my criminal connections.
We could. I'm thinking if we can get the unit number he was in off the docks, we can maybe see who else was in that unit and if any of those people are on this planet.
Well, you also gotta stop and consider, if he just went postal somewhere and he's being hunted, he's probably gonna try and make himself relatively scarce and not known.
That's true. I'm thinking he might have gone to one of his friends.
That's a possibility. But if that is the case, how likely are we going to find one of his friends potentially on this world?
Unlikely, admittedly, but
Still
I don't
worth a
have any
Start
other
shot.
somewhere.
good leads.
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
All right, so what's your plan?
I would say from the public documents we have, what are the units he served in?
It lists like a designation. I'm not going to make one up. It's, the 107th or something. Old infantry of, the previous government. So,
Okay, can we get a listing of people who were in that unit? Is that something we can look up?
yeah, you have to look it up on the computer, and it's probably not trivial to come by. Like, someone would make a computer test. It's not hard, but it's not like you can't just go Google it, because it's like from the old government, and nobody like advertises that stuff. It depends on what you want. Like, if you just want to know about the unit, you can probably like go to Space Wikipedia and find out, basic details about the unit. But if you want like a list of names and last known locations, that's not easy to come by.
Who's got good computer skills?
Patrick did before he got blown up.
Technically, he got shot in a car chase with the police after trying to rob a bank.
Oh, that's right. I thought he got blown up in the vault. I forgot. I survived that.
Yes.
Yeah. Good times.
Let me see what my skill. I think my skill is at -1.
Mine is also at -1.
Oh wait,
Same
no, my
here.
skill's at 0.
You're the best one to have a chance then, because mine's at
All
negative
right.
1.
I'm gonna give a shot at looking this up.
This can only go great.
Should I just roll computer?
Yeah, computer against your intelligence. Yeah, so
Hey.
you're able to find a listing of it's actually you found his specific squad that he was in. So there's a list of 10 different people from his squad that you have. You have their names and last known locations. There's only one that's anywhere near here, and it's in the Garricksane system. It's I need to generate a name for him. You're able to find that he's, he basically lives there now.
Is that system in this region, H0303?
Hang on.
The Jerixane system? No, that's H0406.
Oh, I see. Okay.
What's his name? His name is.
Ooh, excuse me.
The fuck? I don't have the one I wanted. Ah. What's the new one? His name is wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. His name is Jimmy Don Ramirez. It's Jimmy Don Ramirez.
What was
If
the
he
name
was-
of the guy we were looking at for the docs last week that was not an actual person?
I
Is
have
it
no idea.
Rico?
Oh, Raul?
Raul.
Yes.
Okay.
The guy that Tim tried to just make up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that went well.
Okay, well that's a possible lead, but I don't want to lead this planner right away. What else are people
Well, so
thinking?
it's fair to note that so actually you'd roll the 9, you know this. That's his last known location. He also has a bit of a rap sheet. Not anything nearly as serious as what's it? But Harold, but he's got a reasonable rap sheet on him as well. So just because it's his last known location doesn't mean he's actually there.
Does he have a bounty?
None that you could find.
All right, what are other people thinking?
Might be time to hit up the underworld a bit.
What would we ask in your underworld contacts?
Where this person is?
Direct. I like it.
Gotta be direct with someone so.
There's no way that can go south. Let's do it.
I think that's a reasonable thing to pursue.
All right, is that your game plan? You're just gonna start asking around for Harold, Toothless McGoynigan.
In the criminal
McAloy.
underworld. Yes.
All right. All
We
right,
should
make
get,
me
we should get
a.
a mullet and run around as Dog the Bounty Hunter style and just start knocking in doors.
All right, make me a culture criminal roll against your charisma.
Damn.
Yep. Okay. So you go into a seedy bar. It looks like a criminal, like it looks like a biker bar or something. It's, it's just tobacco smoke and maybe some narcotic smoke of some kind is hanging in the air. It smells acrid. You can smell mixed in with that just the scent of intense rot gut liquor, just the worst imaginable. Alcoholic smell you can imagine. And there's, a dozen people at the bar, and when you open the door, they all look at you like you have four heads, and none of them are particularly happy to see someone they don't recognize in this place. What do you want to do?
I want to go and have a drink of milk.
All right, so you walk up to the bar, and the guy looks at you and says, "I don't know you."
Not from around these parts, or at least I haven't been for a while.
I don't know you. Why are you here?
I'm looking for someone.
I don't know anybody. Go away.
Alright. And I actually walk out.
Nobody follows you.
Did you get your drink?
No. It was pretty closed off. If I stayed there and tried to push, it would have gone south very, very fast.
Yeah, so you guys are walking towards the the parking lot wherever you left your rental grav vehicle. Actually, this planet actually doesn't have grav vehicles. It's like a normal Jeep or something that you rented. It's kind of shitty. It's like it's enough to move around. It's people mover, but it's not like high quality or anything.
Choo choo, motherfucker.
Yeah, so you guys are walking to that car as you're talking.
So, okay, that didn't go well. I would have preferred not to get shot, which is why I left. It would have ended me getting shot. Anyone else got some good ideas? Or should we maybe just head out and try and see if we can find them in the Jiraxane system?
We should put up some wanted posters.
In a contested system, that might not be the greatest idea.
So you guys are coming up to your vehicle at this point, and the parking lot is filled with mostly motorcycles, and there are probably half a dozen guys like milling around the motorcycles and talking to each other. They're all wearing vests with you can see patches on them. You can't really make out what they say, but
Did I bring my binoculars? I imagine I did. Wait, do I even have binoculars?
I don't know that you have binoculars. B, I don't know that you have an instinct that would tell you to bring binoculars. However,
I don't.
I wouldn't be opposed to an argument of why you might have binoculars. However,
But we bought them last session.
so you are short a goal, by the way. You can add one more. I need to.
Right. My goal is complete this contract.
Okay. So go ahead and put that in. That's going to be a 1.
And I imagine, are we back in the grab car, or are we still walking to the grab car?
You are just arriving at the car now. It's just like a regular car. Look at all your goals. Okay. I'm telling you, Tim, change that goal. It's 1 XP. I kid you not.
Fine. Changing it.
All right.
Was it to get a new penis?
Yeah, to
Yes.
get a bionic penis. And he tried to send me some bullshit article about a guy who got a penile implant and was like, yeah, see, we have this technology. I'm like, fuck you. No, we're not dealing with penises in my role playing game beyond maybe blowing them off every now and again. It's
You
not
need to buy him a
replaceable, man.
bicycle pump and a sock for Christmas and give it to him and not tell anybody in your family what it's for.
I'm gonna. Oh God. No, I'm just gonna get one of those. You know those long inflatable balloons
There you go.
and a bicycle pump, and it's gonna be awesome. And I'm just gonna sign it to Malcolm.
I have updated the penis goal.
Okay. Yeah. So these guys they notice that you've gotten to your vehicle, and they're looking at you less than favorably.
How far away are they from us in the grav vehicle?
So it's like a average size, like, parking lot for like a convenience store. So it's not huge. It's maybe, let's say, like they're 15 meters away.
Are they blocking the exit, or are they near the exit?
No, they're just sort of like the exit's sort of situated in the middle of like a long rectangle. So the parking lot's very long. It's maybe 50 meters long, but it's only 15 or 20 meters wide. So it's enough to fit a couple of cars on either end, and then a good road down the middle. So they're not blocking anything, but they're like sort of directly across from you.
So I'm not sure if I brought my weapons or not. Can I roll a luck to see if I brought my sniper rifle?
I'm gonna say the following thing. You have any hand weapons you definitely have them with you. This is not a place you understand that this place is dangerous. If you want to have something heavier than that in the car, because you wouldn't have your sniper rifle on your back, for certain.
I wouldn't think that whipping that out to look at a couple guys across the parking lot's going to be conducive to our survivability.
Furthermore, like, they are only 50 feet away. If they're 15 meters, it's 50 feet. That's not super far away. So I suspect that if you want to like look at them, you can just look at them and you'll see stuff. However, if you want to see if you have the sniper rifle or your submachine guns or anything, that would be a luck check.
Yeah, I do want to see what weapons I have.
Okay, so which weapon do you want to see? That you have?
My combat shotgun.
Okay, make a luck check. Yeah, you definitely have that. It's in the car. You were probably driving because you have the pilot skills. So it's in the the driver's seat, right in the middle.
I think we should sneak a look.
I probably should check to see if I have my SMG.
Yep. Go ahead and make a luck check. Yeah, you got that. You were sitting in the back, so it's in the back seat, passenger side.
Cool.
No weapons, naked.
You have no weapons?
Yeah, no weapons.
All right. Yeah, so you don't even have your sidearm?
I've never had a sidearm. I have a knife.
Do you have your knife on you? You can have your knife on you if you want.
I'll have my knife on me.
Okay. So you got your knife, and it's like a good sized knife. It's a sheath knife. It's not a folding knife or anything. So, and that's just on your pocket, like in your pocket or on your belt or whatever. Yeah. So these guys are looking at you and increasingly wondering what the hell you're doing there. They don't look friendly, man. They look angry.
I'm gonna take a peek and see if I can identify their uniforms.
Let me see if there's a generator for this. Otherwise, I'm just gonna have to make something up. Motorcycle gang. That's what I want. I want a motorcycle gang. Music band. That might be good.
The music band gang.
You see, no, that's the generator. You notice that their cuts, their leather vests, say grit banshees on them, GRIT banshees, and they're all sort of big burly guys. Most of them are wearing like jeans and riding chaps, so like leather things to protect their legs. They got big boots on. They're all carrying long K-bar style knives on their belts, and most of them look armed in some way. You can see a few have pistols on their hips. Their motorcycles have weapons attached to them in various slings and so on. They do notice. Can you actually? How do I want to do this? I'm going to have them make a perception test. One moment while I figure out what their stats are. Open my GM screen. And we'll zip down to... I think they're going to be these guys. Let's do... I guess I'm going to have to make them make a save because they don't have skills in this thing. Oh, wait. Default attributes are strength. Okay. They're going to make just the one. Oops. Yeah, so they one of the guys sort of like looks in at you specifically and like nods his head at you, and then says something to the other guys. You can't quite make out what he says. What do you want to do?
It's time to go.
As you say that, they start walking over to you. Like just two of them start walking over to you.
Oh, but the rest of them are there?
Yeah, there were 6 total.
I'm going to roll down my window.
You're still standing outside the car. You
Oh,
haven't car
okay.
yet.
I'll wait.
Yeah, so one of the guys walks up to you and roll for accent. Says, "The fuck are you doing here?"
I was retrieving my vehicle, which is parked in this garage.
You understand what kind of bar this is, don't you, boy?
No, because I did not enter the bar.
This is a biker bar, boy. Don't look like you're driving no bike.
It is true my vehicle has 4 wheels.
He spits some tobacco out on the ground.
It's a double bike with walls.
He looks directly at you and goes, "Don't ever speak again. Y'all gonna need to get the fuck out of here and don't show your faces no more."
Okay.
He turns around, and as he reaches at his side and grabs his knife and just jabs it into the back tire of the vehicle, and then pulls it out and keeps walking. Fucking people in their cars.
You're making it difficult to leave.
He looks over his shoulder and goes, "Pray I don't make it more difficult, boy." He sheathes his knife.
This is a rent taxi? What kind of...
It's a fucking what?
I meant to say, out of character, is this a rent taxi?
Yes, it's rented. He still says it's a fucking what, because he heard you mumble.
I'm just wondering where the spare on this vehicle is, sir.
I don't give a fuck, boy. Just get the fuck out of here.
How can I? You just gave us a flat tire, dipshit.
You call me what? And he reaches up for his sidearm.
I pull out my SMG. You don't even test me.
All 4 of the other guys pull out automatic rifles.
Dude, I dive behind the car. Fuck that noise. Put my hands up in the air.
Every single one of the other guys has automatic rifles trained on you, Mal. And he's looking at you and just laughing. He's like, "Boy, you got some fucking balls."
I used to. Unfortunately.
He just looks at you and goes, "What? Wait, no, I don't want to know. Just the fuck? Get the fuck out of here. Put your gun down. Get the fuck. God damn it.
We will once we fix our damn tire. We will when we fix a damn tire that you just made flat, you dipshit.
He looks over his shoulder. He's facing you at this point. He looks over his shoulder at his guys and just like shakes his head. He's like, "You understand the situation, right? Are you stupid?" And he looks at you, Tess, and he goes, "Is he slow?"
I would say the speed at which he thinks can occasionally be reduced.
Are you talking English, boy? I ain't never heard that before. Just tell me, use words I understand. Speak normal.
Sometimes.
All right. Well, you ought to explain to him that those boys over there have bigger guns. Now, and he's looking at you, Mal, and he's like, they have bigger guns than you, and they have more of them. You have a tiny gun and apparently no balls. So, with your shit, put it away and leave. You understand?
Easier said than done when there's now a flat tire in our car.
Jesus fuck, I don't care how you leave. I don't get, just get the fuck, put down the gun on the ground.
While that's all happening, I'm gonna pop the trunk and start getting the spare tire out.
See, this boy right here, he's got the right idea. He's getting a fucking spare tire. He's gonna put it on the car, and then y'all gonna get the fuck out of my fucking parking lot at my fucking favorite bar. God damn it, it's fucking...
You do realize if you didn't give us a flat, we would have been gone ages ago.
Shut up, you're not allowed to talk anymore.
Fuck you.
He walks up to you with his knife, and he's keeping so that there's a clear sight line to you and the guys at the four guns. And he goes, "No, you misunderstand. You're not allowed to talk anymore."
Really? I'm the one with the gun pointed to your fucking face.
Boy, don't talk, because you're going to make me angry. I don't like it when I'm angry. You won't like me when I'm angry, boy. You understand?
And he thinks he's people.
Roll for initiative.
Just him or all of us?
Mel. Well, you all can roll for initiative if you want to take action, but I'm pretty sure he's about to get shot.
Fuck that, dude. I got a tire to change.
I'm going to help change the tire.
Yeah, so they're going to take 4 shots at you. And then, actually, I got to roll for his initiative, too, and his buddies. So, the 4 guys have initiative 6. You have initiative 2, so he has initiative 2, so you're acting at the same time, and his buddy has initiative 1. They're going to take 4 shots at you. They have an AB +3, and they have combat rifles. So let's go ahead and see how dead you are. What's your AC?
5.
It's 3. Okay, and they roll 1d12. It's 7 damage from the guy. So they all, when he says this, like, the guy in front of you makes a gesture, and all the other 4 guys know exactly what that means, and they all take a shot at you. One of them hits you. How bad does that hurt you? How much health do you have?
3, so I'm very
you're
bad.
at -4. Yeah, so one of the it catches you in the neck, and it just rips your jugular through. You are bleeding profusely, and you're on the ground. What do you other guys want to do?
Is the tire
It's going
changed?
to take even longer.
What?
It's going to take even longer to leave now.
Is the tire changed?
Go ahead and roll initiative, and then make a... Oh, God, I guess this is... It's technically not astronautics, so I don't want to make it astronautics. There's no mechanics, is there? I don't see anything. I guess it'd be vehicle land.
Culture traveler?
No, that's for, like, people who are space travelers. Like, they're just itinerant people. They don't really live anywhere.
Isn't this a grav vehicle?
No, it's just a regular car.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
that makes a lot of
go ahead
sense.
and make a vehicle land check, Alistair.
Against what attribute?
Dexterity. Yeah, you changed the tire.
Good. I'm gonna biostasis that fucker and throw him in the trunk. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, so you can biostasis him, take off the point. Malcolm, you can add a system strain. The guys, like the bikers, aren't interested in killing you guys because you haven't been stupid. And they let you biostasis him, and you toss him in the trunk, and he goes, "Now I don't want to see your kind around here ever again. You get me?"
We're gone.
Yeah, you hop in the passenger seat.
I have a quick
Testis.
question to him before I go.
He looks at you, and he's just like, "Fine." Like, there's nothing he's gonna do about it. Like, if you piss him off, he's just gonna shoot you, so he doesn't really care. What do you want to ask him?
I'm gonna show him the picture of the bounty we have.
He just
And ask
like
him if he's seen
he
it.
spits at you and turns around and walks away. And he goes, "You fucking foreigner, fucking off-worlder motherfuckers!" And he goes over to his bike and like straddles it. And he's like, "Come on, let's get the fuck out of here."
Okay, I get in the car.
Yeah, and you guys drive off. Mal is psychically prevented from bleeding out from his jugular. You
We
were
should
at
go
0.
find like urgent care or something.
Yeah, so if you want to find a hospital, someone make a navigation wisdom roll. Alternately, you can go back to the ship and maybe be able to help him there, but someone would have to make some tech medical rolls. He's pretty badly injured, so
How much would a hospital cost?
for this, it will cost a non-trivial amount. This guy just blew off Malcolm's neck, like it's just gone.
Tens or hundreds?
We're talking probably 5 to 10,000 credits to reconstruct the neck and put in fake vocal cords and all that.
Do I
If you-
know how much money he has in his bank account? I'm gonna.
Uh,
I actually think it's 0 now that I think about it.
It's actually less than 0, but yeah, you can like fish for his wallet and then like see what his cred stick says he has. Yeah, I'll just say you do that, and you find that it says 0. And in fact, in his wallet there's a little note that says IOU.
Oh, that's right.
It's
He
written
does
to
owe me.
Tacitus, and it says Tacitus 1K creds. And I feel like it probably also says, "See if you can weasel out of this," just underneath.
Yeah, I could see that.
Is there a cheaper option than a hospital? But
I mean,
not
you
a
could you
ship?
you
Can we
could
find a vet?
you could probably find a vet. It'll be cheaper, but it might not work.
Do you think there's like a mob doctor we can talk to?
Do any of you have culture criminal?
They're
One of us
conscious.
does.
Any
Not
of,
you.
No.
any of us that are conscious.
Any conscious person. By the way, Tim, you might want to start working on a new character.
Yeah.
It turns out that when you have 4 automatic assault rifles trained on you, it's probably worth being cautious and not telling people they're idiots.
You might have to make a new
I
spare
probably
guy. There are no spare characters right now.
How attached are you to this character?
I'm sure it'd be nice for him to have a character with a penis again.
Bone, I will give you extra experience if you make a character that is a
Eunuch.
That is a woman.
Ooh, a woman character.
I could.
I think we should go to the ship, see if we can save him. That's my judgment. What do you think?
If I
Bryce?
make a female
You're the captain.
character, do I have to do a female voice the entire time?
You can do your regular voice if you're not comfortable doing an accent. That's fine. But like it's an actual female character, not like some no transgender character. I mean, if you want to play a transgender character, that's fine. But
that's fine.
the extra XP is only for a female character.
No, that's
properly.
fine. I just don't think I could pull off a female accent that didn't sound
No,
like
you
shit.
can just I mean, the other thing you can do is you can just pitch your voice a little higher, so you just talk like this a little bit, and suddenly you're kind of like a lady character.
Or
Awesome.
what was the smokers lady that we talked to? That was the
Oh, you could be no, what was it? It was Dolores.
Dolores.
Dolores, but her name was actually Michael, and not you shouldn't use her slave name. So yeah, you can also do that where you just talk from the bottom of your throat, Now I'm doing a like a this sort of thing where you're talking like this. It's sort of this sort of like New York accent, the new YAWK New York accent. But you do that and you just talk from the bottom of your throat, and suddenly you're Dolores from some fucking support line somewhere. Don't call me by my slave name.
I have a feeling if I did that for extended periods of time, my throat would eventually start to hurt.
It's actually not as straining as it sounds, but it isn't like no accent's super easy to do for a long time. Um, anyway, yeah, you can just talk in your normal
the tech
voice.
medical skill, right?
I don't think any of you do.
I don't think any. Of
I have a
us do.
0.
Oh, that's better. Oh wait, I have a 0 too.
Yeah,
We can maybe
You
do
guys-
this.
You
we could maybe
guys
do
could,
this.
you guys could probably help each other do this.
We've got Clippy too.
And Clippy will be there to help
We'll pull up
reconstruct.
the Space
So-
Tube video.
One thing that will probably be true here. So here's the problem. So actually, first of all, do you want to go back to the ship? Is that your plan?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, you know how to get back there, so you're driving back, and you get there no problem. You arrive and cart his stasised body. He's in a induced coma in like a psychic field that prevents him from bleeding, and it sort of shuts down all cellular activity on the person. As you're looking at this, you notice several things. First of all, his entire jugular and like his vena cava, the two veins on the side of his neck and the big artery that goes there, gone. There's just like a big chunk taken out. Like you got his neck ripped out. His esophagus is ripped open. He has no more vocal cords to speak of. And so there are two problems you have to solve. There's the primary problem of rebuilding all of this stuff, the various veins and stuff. And you have like graft material in your med bay. You keep that stuff around because you're smart and you are, that's how you stock med bays. And actually, I bet it's probably Ziggy who stocked it with all that stuff before he left. Because he was, a proper medical doctor. Although I think, anyway. So yeah, as far as we know, Ziggy was a proper medical doctor. The other problem is vocal cords. Vocal cords are complicated pieces of tissue, and you don't have grafts for that. You might be able to rig up a piece of technology to replace it, but basically you can reconstruct him without vocal cords, which would mean that Mao could no longer speak.
That might be.
It might work
beneficial
out.
to his-
Yeah, so let's start by figuring out whether or not he survives. So the way this works is one of you is going to make a test to assist, and one of you is going to make a test to actually do the work. The person who's doing the work is going to make a tech medical dexterity because you're doing surgery. The person who's going to assist is making tech medical intelligence to help instruct what's going on and so on.
I think I'm the captain. He's my crew member. I should be the one to do the cutting.
That makes sense.
Probably doesn't hurt that. I guess, yeah, he only has the +1 in intelligence. You have the +1 in dex. So, yeah. So go ahead. First, Alistair, as the assist, make a tech medical against your intelligence. You need a 9 to successfully assist. So he's not. You're able to do basic stuff like hold gauze and provide clamps and stuff, but you're not hurting the process. But you're not able to significantly help it by like being able to predict what he needs to do. So it's all down to you, Tacitus. This is another DC 9. You need to make a tech medical dexterity. You manage to reconstruct his vena cava and jugular using the graft material, despite the shoddy help that Alistair provides you. You did not try to construct anything in terms of the voice. You can choose to do that if you'd like. That's going to be some more tech medical tests. What do you want to do?
Do we have like a voice box around we can hook him up to?
I
That
think
be possible?
Clippy comes over the radio and says, "It sounds like you're looking for a text-to-speech device. Do you want help with that?"
Yes.
He says, "Any compad would be able to render text into speech. However, it would be somewhat tedious to do."
I think we should try to repair his vocal cords.
Okay. So this is a complicated surgery. You can again get some assistance from Alistair. You don't have the parts, but you might be able to implant like a speaker that could then be hooked into some device at some point in the future. You need to get so. The reality is you don't have the parts to construct artificial vocal cords. You just don't have the material for that. But you could potentially implant something that makes it so that he could make noise. Like you can hold up the box and then talk like, he has the box, that kind of thing. But while you're capable of the surgery, you're probably not capable of like improvising material to fully repair his cords. You could go buy material to do that. It would actually probably not.
Nah, he owes me money. Let's use what we have.
All right. So if you want to try to implant a voice modulation box, which you basically just scrap from some part of like the ship, there's like a voice modulation box somewhere that'll mimic his voice more or less. Like occasionally there'll be the little glitches like that. But otherwise, What are you rolling? Oh, you're setting up the character. Okay.
Yep.
I think you're gonna make it.
I'm still doing it. Still
Just
doing it. Yeah,
Never hurts to have one spare.
exactly.
Speaking of, I'll make a few more spare sheets here.
Okay, so can we do the same medical rolls again to set up this voice box?
Yep. I'm not gonna tell you the DCs this time, but you can do that.
Still being helpful.
Yeah, no help from Alistair still. Yeah, so you aim to implant it, but as you're working on it, Alistair fumbles and drops a pair of forceps like into the vocal cords, causing them to be just like you're trying to like implant the thing, and he drops the forceps and it shorts out the box. And yeah, that box is ruined.
Do we have another box?
I mean, you could probably rip some other part of the ship out, but you're going to start actually like affecting other systems.
Okay, well, I guess he doesn't have a voice.
I suspect that Mal is not long for this world anyway, so. All right, yeah, so I mean, like, he can just use his phone, his compad, and like have it make text to voice stuff. Tim, the practical reality of this is if you want to speak with Malcolm, you have to type it. You can't speak with your actual voice. You have to type it, and
Amazing.
I will read it. Okay, he says. You're not awake yet, so you don't actually get to talk. So when you're talking out of character, you can use your actual voice, but when you're talking in character,
I have to type it? Okay.
Yeah. Or if you're describing to me what Malcolm feels at some point, perhaps the frustration he might feel at not having a voice anymore, you can speak that. But anything you want to say to another character or NPC, you need to type. And then I will read it with appropriate glitching and misspelling. So I'm going to make a bunch of spares here as well. Yeah, so you close them up. And, it's going to take at least a day for him to, like, come to and start to recover. You have him now medically suppressed, so he's no longer, like, in a psychic coma. He's in a proper medical coma. You've grafted out his neck. He's got some fake skin. You actually took it off of his back, which is a pretty common thing. And I'm leaving the default names on these spares just so that I don't have to click as much. But they are here if you need them. If you want to have them, just change the name. And yeah, what are you guys going to do in the meantime while he's figuring out?
Do we have any information on the ship our target has or took?
Wait, what?
Like, do we have any information on the ship the person we're hunting is using? Do we know anything like that, or?
You can spend the day researching that, certainly. I think that You sort of exhausted all the public material available because the thing is he didn't have like a ship that he owned. He was like stealing stuff or stowing away or hiring out to other
Can,
people.
can I spend the day at the space dock just like people watching and see if I can spot him?
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Sure. So okay, so it sounds like Tacitus wants to go looking for any details on his transportation, right?
Yeah.
And it sounds like Alistair's going to go people watch and just look out for this guy in this space dock. This is a relatively popular space dock, so it's not a bad idea. Alistair, make a perception test against your. It's an awareness thing, so I think it's going to be wisdom. And then, okay, make one luck test. Yeah, you see someone who looks kind of like him, but you go, wow, that was a really good or bad roll. I'm not sure which.
Bad.
Bad. You see someone who looks a bit like him. You sort of like run up behind him stealthily to see if he's actually the guy you're looking for, and he turns around and it's not him. Tacitus, make a computer roll against your intelligence. Yeah, you weren't able to find any. Go ahead.
Can I re-roll that?
Are you
with
an expert?
my expert skill? Yeah.
You are an expert. Yeah, you can re-roll that.
That's what I'm going to do.
We started late, so that's your 7 to 8 re-roll. So in about probably 5 minutes, I think. We're just about at the cusp. I don't know. This has been running for just over an hour, so I'm going to say that it's your 7 to 8 re-roll, and then you have another one handy. So you can't use it on this roll, but
okay. Is this against intelligence?
yes. Computer's intelligence.
No, that got worse.
Yeah, so you were looking diligently, and you got discouraged at one point because you just weren't finding anything. This guy seems to have just been taking like public transport or hiring out or something, paying cash everywhere. You chased down a lead. It turned out to be a dead end. You're kind of like discouraged and not really interested in continuing. And then Clippy came on and said, you should keep trying. And you did. And then Clippy tried to help, and he accidentally formatted your system, your sort of laptop. And so it's back to factory settings, which sucks for you. But basically, there's no gameplay effect to that. It just sucks. And it turns out
status sucks.
Yeah. You post on Spacebook that you're real upset about it. You're feeling pretty emo.
Nah, I wouldn't use Facebook.
I like it. Yeah. So it's you didn't find anything. You got no idea what this guy is.
Okay.
I think that it's been a day. Mal, you wake up in the med bay. Your throat feels like it has been torn out because it has. It's a vaguely reminiscent feeling of something else that got blown off because you ran your fucking mouth. I think both times, right?
Yep.
You open your mouth to try to talk, and it just goes and there's no one around. It just hurts. There's nothing but pain in your world. The lights are very bright, and you see next to you your phone is there.
Price, do you understand what he's saying?
I think are you guys in the med bay when he wakes up? Like,
I don't know. Are we?
I don't know.
It's up to you.
I'm gonna roll a luck check.
Okay.
If I'm lucky, I'm not there.
All right, yeah. So you're there, and you hear him just like, and it clearly, Malcolm, this causes you pain, and you're at 0 hit points, by the way. it's causing you pain to do this. Like it is not pleasant to go a lot. Um, what do you want to do? All right, so if you're telling me an action you want to take, but not your character isn't speaking, you can just say that.
Oh, so I can actually talk now?
No. So you can't talk, but if you want to tell me what your character is going to do, so for instance, saying that is unless you're saying I want to find the asshole and kill him, um, that's just telling me like a direction that your character's taking. It's like saying I walk left. You don't actually say that out loud. Um, so ideally, basically anything you want to say that would be in quotes, you need to type. But if you want to tell me like, oh, my character walks to the door or tries to get up, you can just say that.
All right, hang on 1 sec. I will type it out.
I'm not sure I like this plan.
Hang on.
I'm only sticking with it because I'm pretty sure you're going to run this guy right into the ground. Yeah, so you're all seeing him just like type into his phone. He's just like angry and like furious. And it just says, I'm going to find the longest, sharpest stick and stick the guy who made me lose my voice. His head will be on that stick for all eternity.
There's no period on the end of the sentence. Are you going to finish it?
And you just see him, like, he looks at you, makes a face, and then goes back down to typing. Fuck your English language!
Assume there's an exclamation point somewhere.
My autocorrect is too good. I need to have... I wonder if there's a site that, like... it's the text-to-speech just, like, just makes a screeching noise. And all you hear is, I will your rules.
That's right, I'm the captain. Duh.
Duck fat.
Clippy, I'm gonna call Clippy up.
It seems like you're trying to type into your phone. Would you like help with that?
No, Clippy, can you add an autocorrect rule to change profanity to flower types?
Yes. It says, you hear from his phone, where is my dick? And then it says, Clippy says, oh, I'm sorry, I hadn't got the rule done yet. Where is my amaryllis?
Much improved.
Hang on, I need to look up flower types. Shit. Flower types. Flower glossary. It says dog astrolarimia. It.
Dang, we're gonna need a botanist.
I'll put up an ad right away. I'll have Clippy get on it.
Sure
Yeah.
thing. I'll put up an ad right now. Wanted, one botanist.
Okay, what are
Excellent
we gonna do?
paperclip. Paperclips are the best. That's what it says from Mal's thing.
All right, Price. What's our plan here?
The paperclip always tells the truth.
I actually go find a closet and go pull a mop out of it and hand it to Malcolm, saying, here's your stick. You gotta sharpen it though.
Chrysanthemum, finally. That's fine. God, get my knife something. Or the it, what? Your language is flowerless against me now. Autumn before the almighty Malcolm.
I actually go back to my room to type up a nice little descriptive email to Peanuts, letting him know what happened.
Yeah, and what kind of thing? What do you say? Just like he got his neck blown off or something?
Yeah, that Malcolm decided to run his mouth against 4 bikers and got his neck blown off, and now he can't talk, which is fantastic for the rest of us. By the way, do you have any information on our target? Toothy
Ooh,
McGee.
smart
here.
move.
Yeah, so that's going to take a few days to get to wherever he is. But that's a good idea. So I'm going to write down that you did that. Where's my notes? There. Mal got his neck and vocal cords blown off. And Alistair sent word to Peanuts of same, asked for deeds. Harold. All right. So Malcolm, I imagine, is sitting in the corner now, in pain, hooked up to an IV of painkillers probably, and furiously sharpening a stick. What do the rest of you want to do?
I'm not sure. I'm thinking. Yeah, how many ships arrive? Can I get public records on ship arrivals?
So in this system, public records are a little bit spotty, so you can try to get them. It would be easier than like trying to determine a specific person moving in and out, but you could get like general statistics. You might be able to get more specific stuff, or like notice discrepancies with a harder roll. So are you just looking for general statistics, or are you looking to like find discrepancies?
I want to see how many ships came here from ASA recently. And yeah, I want to see how many ships it is. And
Okay.
then maybe we can narrow it down from there.
Make a computers check against your intelligence. What does recently mean for you?
I
This
guess when...
So a piece of relevant information. The bounty is about 2 weeks old.
Yeah, 2 weeks then is about, I think, a good enough range.
Okay. Yeah, so go ahead and make your roll. Yeah, so you find that. So I believe that's a perfect roll. Yeah, you
Got
double
hot
six.
dice
So here's what happens. You're sitting down to look through the list, and there are hundreds of ships. I mean, it's a pretty like this is sort of the bridge between the northern half of the sector, the top half of the sector, map north of the sector, and map south of the sector. And there were hundreds of ships coming from all over the north, heading down to the south, independent people not affiliated with the government. But you notice while you're working on this that is a set of ships that very routinely comes through and follows the same exact pattern from Asa to Afra to Garrick every week. Not every week, but they make that same cycle every time. And you notice that for the last 2 weeks they've made this cycle twice because they have a much faster drive than yours. And the first time they made it, it was with 9 people on the ship. The second time they made it, it was with 8. And you also notice that it was 9 going from Asa to Afra and 8 going from Afra to Garrick. And the name of the ship is whatever the hell you want it to be. You can make something up.
What would I call this ship? Let's call it the Cassius.
All right, yeah. So you see the Cassius come through. It's just a merchantman. It's like a freighter kind of thing. It's actually it ships farming materials, fertilizer, that kind of thing, through this route. And it's actually a little bit odd that you would see a merchantman go through Afra. Because usually, like the big companies would just go through the dead space. They have very fast drives, but this is like a smaller merchant, and Afra's kind of a dangerous town, so you would not typically want to go that way if you could avoid it. But this guy just does it, and it seems like he dropped off someone on Afra on one of his trips.
Where is Afra again?
You're on Afra. It's Gonzalez.
Okay. That's a pretty good lead. Do we know where he was dropped off? Like what port?
Yeah, it's actually the same port you're in now.
Also interesting. I'm gonna go talk to Price about this.
Okay. Yeah.
Price, where you at?
I was hanging out in my room, not baiting.
Okay, good to know. You should do that weekly though. I like a relaxed crew.
I'll make a note.
Poor fucking Mal, right? No, no wonder. No wonder he keeps running his mouth off. Oh, Jesus.
That
So,
frustration.
Got some new information, and I hand him the information about the ship and the port and the possible drop off. I think it's worth investigating.
Yeah, this is all pretty solid. So we need to head south then.
Indeed, we do.
I think you misunderstood what I was saying. They dropped off someone on Afra. So from Asa to Afra. So Asa to
I did
Gonzalez,
misunderstand.
there was 9 people. Then there was 8 people from Gonzalez to Carricksane. This about 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Yeah, I thought he stayed on
Okay.
Southern Planet.
I think we should go to the port and see if we can get, maybe they have some CCTV information, see if we can spot our man. And failing that, maybe we can find some other clue.
Well, we've got the name of the ship, and J-Fred, correct. They make like the same, it's like a set schedule that they ran?
Mhm.
Or was it just, okay. We should hit up the spaceport on the next time that they should be there and look for the ship and see if we can find like identifying uniforms or anybody.
I like this plan.
Some sort of clue to let us know where they are.
Do we know when the next ship's arriving?
Roll luck check. It arrived yesterday. It already left. It'll be here in a week.
Shit.
I think the CCTV. Well, oh no, wait. Well, we could maybe look. It might be difficult to get.
For the record, you do know what this guy looks like because he has a mugshot and stuff.
Yeah, I want to see if we can pin him on the camera as going somewhere, leaving the ship, etc.
Okay. Yeah, so you want to go to the Port Authority, basically?
Yes.
All right. And I assume it's you and Alice. Are you taking Mal with you?
No.
Okay.
You know,
Uh,
I'm gonna go.
on
I'm
the
gonna go talk to Al, and by Al I mean Mal, and tell him what I just told Price.
All right. Yeah. So you, Mal, what do you think of that? You're doing what with the Who now?
This is called detective work, because we're professionals.
Actually, Tim, I want you to type it in Skype to me, because I don't want them to actually see what you meant to say. Part of this is I get to screw up what you're telling them. So. Pull you up on my other screen. If I miss something you say, it's professional by Daisy. If I don't see you typing to me, say something out of character, Tim, just so I make sure. But
All right, I'm just keeping my mic muted.
okay.
Okay, well, if you don't want to join us, you can sit here, sharpening your stick.
Yeah, and he sits down and he's typing at his phone, and he's looking at you kind of like grumpily. Are we going to visit the glory hole?
I hadn't planned to. This is why every week you should be keeping up.
He just looks at you and he shakes his head, just, like angrily shaking his head. Yeah, kind of hard to do that because no morning glory. I'm gonna run out of
Okay,
flowers
well, you know where to find us. I walk out. I don't even wait.
here. You just hear, yeah, as you walk out, and you catch up with Alistair, and you guys head over to the Port Authority. Mal, in the meantime, and you can speak this, you don't have to type it. What do you want to do?
I'm just gonna keep sharpening my stick and then go find the person who made me this
Okay.
way and probably
So,
run to
are
my
you gonna
death.
go? Are you gonna go look for him without the others? Is that the plan?
Probably.
Okay.
Go to
So
my
we're gonna
death,
say that.
but hey,
So you can add a sharpened stick to your inventory. It does 1d4 damage, I guess. It's a primitive weapon. So if there's an equivalent primitive weapon, it's that. I think maybe a spear makes the most sense. I don't know if there is a spear in the weaponry though. Primitive. Spear, there is 1d6 damage, and it has a 20-meter range if you throw it. And it's 10 or 20. I don't know why it's two numbers. I don't really know how to interpret that, but
10 maybe for melee, 20 for range.
10 meters is 30 something feet. That's a long spear. You're talking about a broomstick.
It's more of
I'm gonna
height.
say, I think it's probably that's like the main, like that's the optimal range. Like if it's any closer, it's probably harder to hit. So 10 to 20 meters is your optimal range if you throw it. Otherwise, you can just use it in melee at your leisure. It's attributed strength, so you're gonna add your strength bonus to any attack you make with it.
Also, we need to buy a new mop for the ship.
Yeah, you're. I imagine you have more than one mop. So you have. It's a 6-foot spear. It's a good sized spear. It's sharp on one end, and it still has the mop attached to it actually. So, all right. So you're heading off to go find this guy from the grit bastards. I think I called them. And the other guys are at the Port Authority. So you guys arrive at the Port Authority, and there is a gentleman behind the counter, and he looks at you and says, "Can I help you?"
Yes. We are pursuing a contract, aka a bounty, to find this individual. And I give him the piece of paper with like his picture and name and details on it. We have reason to believe he came through on a ship known as the Cassius.
Oh yeah,
maybe 2 weeks ago.
I know the captain of the Cassius. He's a good man. Let me see here. So you're on a bounty. Are you a bounty hunter?
Yes.
I'm gonna need to see your license then, of course.
Okay, I'm not a professional bounty hunter. I am someone who does bounties.
Well, I can't give you nothing unless you have a license.
Where do I get a license to be a bounty hunter?
Well, you need to apply with the government. Now, which government are you with?
I'm an independent contractor.
Now, son, you got to be a citizen of some government. Where are you from?
Out of character, I don't remember.
I think it's actually in your sheet. It looks like
Aerophile? It
Sure.
says culture aerophile.
Aerophile. Yeah. So that's. I think that is.
Yeah. It says that's my homeworld.
Yeah, that's your homeworld. Let me see where that was. I think that's in Minushi, but I'm not sure. Which is the north. It's the Unified Society, the U.S. Let me pull this up 1 second. Close that. And this. Planet summary planets. Here we go. Aerophile. Euripides. Sort of A to Z. Aerophile is Sidevi, which is actually the southern. So you're in the People's Republic. So you're actually not too far from home. It's HO505. It's Sidevi is the name of the planet, and I put that in things. So the notation I use is usually system/planet. And so I changed your thing to say that. So it says Sudevi /Aerophile.
Okay.
So you would know that you're from the People's Republic originally.
I'm from a planet called Aerophile in the
Uh-huh.
Sudevi system.
Well, sure. So it seems to me like you only need to fill out Form 23T for the People's Republic, and that's just over here. And he hands you this stack of paper. It's probably about 50 pages, and it's asking you like, where are you from? Who do you know? Like, what's your political affiliation? It also asks you questions about like your grandparents, their ethnicity, and their parents' ethnicity, and like up 4 or 5 generations. It's pretty detailed. Like your ethnicity seems to be very important, um, as well as like whether anybody in your family has ever had MES, the disease that causes psychics, and gives people psychic powers, and other information that's very like concerned with your background and your progeny, not progeny, your ancestry. Um, and it's a big thick document. He's like, now you're gonna have to fill this out in triplicate, and then you're gonna have to send that to the authority in Bazargan system, of course. And then once you've done that, and they have notarized it and sent it back to me, then I will be able to get you whatever you need, son.
Okay, I'll take the documents.
And he hands them to you, and he says, now do you need a pen, boy?
No. Well, actually, can I roll a luck check to see if I have a pen?
Yeah, sure. You can just take a pen. You don't have a pen on you. In fact,
Yes.
not only do you not have a pen, you don't have any pens in your desk at the ship.
Yes, I would like a pen.
And so he hands you a pen, and it's just it says Afra Port Authority on the side. It's just a little clicky pen. It has pretty good action on it.
So, is there any way to expedite this process? This is a little bit of a time-sensitive matter.
Well, sir, if you told me you were a bounty hunter, I assumed you just had proper licensure. Now, I can't help you if you don't have the licensure, sir, of course.
No, that makes sense.
Now, I mean, there is, of course, the expedited licensure process that could get you, through, but it is an expensive process, sir. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah. How expensive are we talking?
Oh, well, let me see here. To expedite your agreement now, it would take at least, I would say 5,000 credits to expedite your licensure procedure without you filling out any paperwork.
Okay. I think I'll stick to the paperwork.
Have it your way, sir. Can I help you with anything else today?
So you said you couldn't give us any of the information in your possession,
No, sir, that's private information.
but you said you knew the captain. Can you
Yes,
at least
sir.
tell us his name so that we might talk to him?
Well, sir, of course, that's also private information. I can't hand you anything. It's against the law.
It's against the law for you to tell me a person's name?
He's a customer of the Port Authority. I can't give away any of his information without his permission. Or without proper licensure on your part, of course.
Okay.
Can I help you with anything else, sir?
No, I'm good.
All right, you have a nice day. Here, take an air freshener. Compliments Port Authority. And he hands you a little pine tree shaped thing. Except pine trees have been like extinct for probably 1,000 years at this point because you're on another planet. So it doesn't actually look like a pine tree. It sort of like looks like a blob, and it says pine on the front, and it smells like lemons.
All right, I'm going to step away from the desk.
Yeah, he just smiles and as you walk away. Alistair, what are you doing during this time?
Well, I'd imagine I was hanging out with Tacitus. I will go help him fill out paperwork.
Yeah, so I mean, you can try to fill out the paperwork if that's what you want to do. I guess if you want to help. Okay.
What kind of... Can you, describe the office we're in? Is it like a large room? Are there a lot of
Have you ever been
people?
to a DMV?
Yes.
It looks like a DMV. Sort of a low desk that stretches across, number of people. There's a bunch of different individual lines. You take a ticket and sit down and wait. There's a few people in line. There's some like pew-like chairs that you can sit in, and it's basically people waiting at a DMV.
All right, I'm gonna start filling out the paperwork.
All right. And in what I cannot believe I set myself up for this. I did not plan this. Can you please make a bureaucracy check against your intelligence? Alistair, you can help him with the same check. All right, so you pass. You start filling out the paperwork. You are cruising along. Alistair is no help to you at all. He's like trying to like figure out the doc. He's actually making it harder for you because you have to explain what to fill out. And he tries and he fails, and then you have to fill it out again, and it's awful. You're like erasing stuff and like trying to like go through this. It's actual paper too, which you're not really used to using. Because most of the time this would all be electronic and it would be filled out automatically. But you are going through this document, and it is like at first it was just a little odd that it was asking you all these ethnic questions. What type of what type of parents you have. It's also asking you like strange stuff like where did you go to school, and not only where did you go to school, but did you have any professors who were of these ethnicities? And it's very concerned with your race. Okay, thanks, Tim. And it's just really weird. Like you get this just sense that it's not overtly telling you that you're not going to get it if you answer those questions wrong. Like you're not going to get licensed if you answer those questions wrong. But it's pretty much like that's the sense you get. And so you're looking at this, and the camera sort of zooms out and goes up and away and fades out as you guys are filling out this paperwork on one of the pews. And Alistair is looking confused, and Tacitus is just dogged and answering all of these questions. And we cut over to Malcolm, who's it's middle of the day now. It's probably about 3:00 in the afternoon, and he's walking towards the bar where you guys were yesterday with a mop over his shoulder. And what kind of weaponry do you have on you, Mal? You can just tell me.
Just that stick I've been sharpening.
You have no other weaponry on you?
Nope. I left it at the ship.
All right, so for the record, there is whatever weaponry Mal has on him on the ship, which I feel like that's metagaming, but I'm pretty sure you're going to die a glorious death. So, yeah. All right, let's see what happens. So you come up to this. Oh God, I just need to like take a second and just enjoy this. You walk into the parking lot, and there are a dozen bikers there, all with that same cut. It says "Grit Bastards" on the bottom rocker, on the top rocker. It's saying Gonzales Afra on it. So it's like a normal sort of biker gang look. There's the middle is like an image of like a demon, and he's got like a handful of sand, and he's just like holding it between his claws, and you see these sharp claws that are. It's all black and white, but the claws have like drips of red, like dark red blood on them. And you notice that there's actually different numbers for different people, different numbers of drips. One of the guys has like pools of blood. There are so many of these drips. There's actually a pool that's underneath it that nobody else has. And they all have these, sort of big, beefy, black motorcycles. They're revving them. There's one guy on a trike, actually. He's revving it. And they see you walk up, and the same guy from yesterday sees you, and he points, and he goes, and he just like shakes his head and looks at you, and everybody else is like looking at you like, what the fuck's going on? But they see that you're not carrying any guns, so they don't decide to kill you right away, basically, and you walk up to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you walk up to them, and you have your phone out, I assume. What do you say to them? This is going to be good. Hi. And the guy looks at you and he goes, I thought I told you never to come around here again, boy. He hasn't typed anything. Okay. It says, he stinks still he's people.
At that
And
point, I proceed to take my sharpened stick and shove it into his temple.
roll for initiative. Into his temple, you're going for his head?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, roll for initiative. Let's see if you succeed. Okay, roll 1d6.
Attack. Oh, do I actually hit?
Yeah.
Sweet.
You hit him. He's wearing a motorcycle helmet, so it glances off, but it does like scratch his eye pretty badly. The other 11 guys all now get to react. And actually, this guy gets to react. He's sort of just like taken aback, and he like shakes his hand, and 11 other guys draw weapons. What's your AC? Are you wearing any armor?
Woven body armor, so 5.
5, 3. Here's what I'm gonna do. So he needs to roll. The total modifier is 8. Need to roll above a 20. So I'm gonna roll 11 d20, and if any of them are more than 12, they get to hit. 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
And they do combat rifles, so it's 3d12. 16 damage. You are shot to pieces. You're dead. And the camera looks at you and looks down at the phone, and on the phone, it's Clippy, and it just says, "It seems like you're trying to get yourself killed. Would you like help with that?" And the guy just looks at you and spits, and then the camera fades to black, and Malcolm is dead. Okay, so someone put up a ad for a botanist, right? I think actually Clippy did, because someone made mention of it.
Yeah.
So, is your new character a botanist?
No.
Did they have any tech abilities at all?
Post-tech. And astronautic.
Yeah, so actually, I'm gonna go ahead and say that you probably are a little bit of a botanist.
A botanist curious.
You're bot curious. Actually, you know what? What's your character? What's your new character like? Let's just take that for a second.
She is a pilot, and she is an expert.
Okay.
Beyond that, she just left military service and is looking for a new crew to join and do jobs with.
Awesome. Let me just type that in. Yeah, so I think that what did she do in the military? Was she like an engineer type, or?
She was a little bit of an engineer, but she was primarily a pilot.
Okay. Did she work on robots at all?
She worked on minor robots related to like ship repairs and.
Okay. Yeah. So I think
flight.
what happened is Clippy misunderstood and put out a request for a botanist or a bot person, someone who could work on bots. And you responded to this, and we'll get to what happens afterward. I think the next thing we see is the camera coming back to Alistair and Tacitus, who are walking away now from the DMV. Actually, did you submit the form or anything? Did you try to do anything else at the DMV before you left?
Is the form done?
Yeah, it probably took like 3 hours. So it's like 6 o'clock in the afternoon now, but you finished it. It's a 24-hour Port Authority because it's a 24-hour shipyard.
I will submit that document.
All right. So, yeah, you go up to the same guy who helped you, and say, "I finished the document. Can you send this in for me?" And the guy's just like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And you hand him the documents, and he puts them. And I think the camera, like, is behind him, so you don't see this, but the audience, the mythical audience, does. And you see him take the document, and it looks like he's putting it into a drawer, and he just drops it in the trash. And he says, "Yeah, sure, I'll file that right away for you." And you and Alistair walk out the door. And you're heading back to the ship, and outside of the ship, you see a youngish woman, and she introduces herself. And Tim, will you
Wait,
please
outside the ship?
outside your ship? Yes.
Okay.
They're just waiting, just sort of like in the sort of each little dock area has its own little space. It's sort of like in Star Wars with the Millennium Falcon when he's going in there and someone's talking about Jabba the Hutt or whatever, and they're getting shot at. That little area, so like it's sort of a little private zone that each ship has. So she's waiting there. And what does she say, Tim?
Hi, I saw your ad that you needed a botanist.
That is true. We needed a botanist.
You said a botanist, not a botanist?
Yeah, someone who works with plants.
Well, I don't know anything about plants, but I'm pretty good with robots.
Clippy comes over your comms, Tacitus, and says, "I thought you said you needed a roboticist."
No, it was close. I'll give you that.
Well, we could really use a roboticist.
I would have liked some nice plants. Why do we need a roboticist?
And so, Judith, you are, and nobody knows your name yet, but Judith, you're hearing him talk, but you don't hear the other end of the conversation, so he's just talking to himself. And Clippy to you, Tacitus, says, well, we could always use a roboticist. Roboticists are very handy. For instance, if you were trying to make a new robot, they could help with that.
That is true.
We could have her build a robot that could be the botanist, and we could still fill the ship with plants.
A robo.
That's a great point, Alistair. It seems like you're making a great point. Would you like help with that?
Yes, Clippy, I would love help with that.
And you see on your phone, it pops up with like schematics for a VI robot chassis that would be able to water plants. And it's like, here's the thing. Judith, I think you see a glimpse of this pop up on the screen. You can just see some schematics that you've seen before for like a basic utility droid.
Are you guys all right up there? You're talking to yourselves.
We're just talking to the ship system.
Oh, you have an AI. That's pretty awesome.
VI. You would call it a VI. I'm just gonna judge
VI.
it. So
You have a VI.
AI is incredibly dangerous and incredibly illegal technology in this world. It's basically the worst thing you can have. There's a whole thing in the backstory that you can read about sometime where AI's like killed thousands of people and wiped out entire worlds and stuff.
Clippy was kind of implanted against our will, though, so he's more like venereal disease intelligence. So I would call him VDI.
Nice.
Clippy says, it seems like you're trying to make a joke. It seems like you need help with that.
I'm good, Clippy.
And it's just a frowny Clippy staring at you, and he has angry eyes. It's on your phone.
I love you, Clippy.
And it turns to a smiley one, but he still has the angry eyes.
Well, so do you need a roboticist or not?
All right, why don't you come into my ship? We'll do the interview.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, so you walk up onto the ship, and Malcolm's door is open, and you see all of his stuff there, and it looks like he actually just scrawled on the wall that he just hated this guy, and you see shavings on the floor, and it appears that he's not here. He left all his stuff behind, including his weapons and such. I need to put him in dead, actually. I like killing characters. It's fun.
Add a character question, because I can't remember. How much XP do I transfer from that guy?
75%.
Thank you. Round up or down?
Round up. I'll give it to you.
And what's the bonus I get since this is a female character?
You can have 200 experience for making a female character.
Wait.
Because you have remained dickless.
By
All right.
natural biology this time.
Yes. So yeah. What do you want to say in the interview? Go ahead and have that interview.
Okay, let's go to my ready room.
Oh, you have a ready
Are
room.
we in the... Yeah,
Fancy.
this is a professional operation with a ready room.
Can't be as professional as some of the things I've had to deal with, but okay. See where we can go.
Okay, so we're in the ready room. I'm going to pick up the ready room phone and call Price.
So you pick up this. Is it like a big red phone?
I assume it's like one of those office phones with the fancy
Yeah, like
keyboard, but all you
the little 3-pronged thing that sits on the desk. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, so you click that and you say, Price, come in here or whatever, and Price walks in.
Price, I'm involving you in the interview because you're a partner on this vessel.
I don't know how good my qualifications would be on interviewing, but I will do my best, sir. And I give him a half salute.
Okay, let's take a look at your resume.
I handed my resume.
I want to check one thing, Tim.
Sure.
Yeah, so I was just checking to make sure that you didn't have any beliefs that would have given you more experience there, but you did not because, yeah. Anyway,
First things first, do you have a rap sheet anywhere?
Oh, speaking of.
No. I've been honorably discharged from military service relatively recently.
I'm going to go ahead and put that in the positive category.
What sort of information is on your resume?
I'm a pilot and I am a roboticist primarily for ship type robots.
If you were to rate your pilot skill from 0 to 1, what would it be?
Yeah.
from -1 to 1, perhaps.
I would give it a 1, maybe even a 2 if I could go off scale slightly.
Solid pilot rating. Is there anything else in this resume?
I mean, I imagine it just shows, standard work history, maybe where he went to school. Probably shows his home planet, or her home planet. I'm gonna have to get used to that. Speaking of, where is your home world? You are a spacer. Okay, cool. And you speak Italian?
I do speak Italian.
That would probably also be on your resume, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we were really looking for a pilot who spoke Portuguese, but that's okay. It's not a requirement.
Did someone in your previous crew speak Portuguese?
Yeah, one of our current crew members speaks Portuguese.
I'm assuming he's not trustworthy because he's not in this interview?
We don't really know where he's at right now.
Oh, speaking of Price, you can take your 50 XP for using your psychic power.
I already took it.
Okay.
Well, okay, so you have a not so trustworthy crew member, by the way it sounds. Okay.
When faced with confrontation, what is your typical response?
Do a barrel roll.
Tim, out of character, are you incapable of playing someone who is not a complete asshole?
No. I don't think I can do it. I play these games down for the shits and giggles.
Man, you should try playing someone who's not a raging asshat. I'm just gonna put that out there as an option for you. Try to be nice. Just try it. See what happens.
Okay, so
you might get past level 1.
So jokes aside, I do not like confrontation. I would rather not attack people because that's a good thing.
She's hired in my book already.
All right, keep your cards close, Price. Keep your cards close. If we were to theoretically need your help to break into a DMV to steal information, would you
Port
be
Authority.
opposed, unopposed, or neutral?
Preferably, right now neutral, leaning towards slightly opposed. Cause criminal stuff. Yeah.
If I buy you an apron, will you make us brownies?
I would do it without the apron. Because brownies are awesome, bro. Although
Do
I'm
you
not making you a
have-
sandwich. That's off the table. No sandwiches for you.
All right, no sandwiches. Do you have bounty hunter certification at all?
No.
Before you continue, do you want to have bounty hunter certification?
Uh, uh, sure.
Roll luck check. That's really unfortunate because you definitely don't.
I don't currently have a bounty hunter certification, although I did consider it when I first was discharged.
Okay. All right, let me well, I guess do you have any questions for us?
Do I get to fly if you accept me?
Yes.
Cool. I like flying. Flying's fun. Other than that, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, why don't you go to the ready room, waiting room while I talk to my partner here.
Yeah, it's like a fractal. It's just self-similar the whole way down. There are infinite number of
I get one of
rooms.
those like Chinese like wall dividers that don't really divide the actual room, and I like put it up against cut the room in half.
Yeah.
Okay. And I go and I sit in the ready room, waiting room, twiddling my thumbs.
What do you think, Pry?
Well, depending on whatever happened to Malcolm, I'm assuming he probably took his sharp stick and went to go play with it with the wrong people. At least she won't get us into more trouble than we're already in, and we can go back to Conseco and not get arrested.
So as you're having this discussion, Clippy pops up on a monitor in the ready room with a CCTV view of the outside of the ship, and there are 12 guys on motorcycles. They're all revving their engines. And one of them has something in his hand, but the resolution is too low. It's a sort of a largish thing, maybe I'm going to say 9 inches cube, right? So it's a reasonably large thing, and he's holding it up in his hand.
Clippy, can you clear up this image?
It seems like you're trying. It seems like you're trying to get me to enhance this image. Would you like help with that?
Yes.
That's too fucking bad. You need to get better cameras on my ship. Fuck it. I'm sorry, I can't help you with that.
All right.
Put
I'm
out
gonna
an
go
ad
to
for a
the
space fence, Clippy.
What did you say?
A space fence. We need space fences.
You see on your phone that same frowning, angry, Clippy face, and it just says underneath, "Don't toy with me, asshole."
Should we go see what the lovely bikers want?
Yeah, let's go do that.
I would like to take this time. Actually, I think Clippy takes this time, and it just pops up on your phone, Testis, that you have a multifocal laser and a sand thrower, which is a 360-degree particulate shotgun, basically mounted to your ship as ship weaponry. Yeah, so you guys head out to the.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Before we leave the ready room, I'm gonna go and talk to. Yeah, I don't think we actually ever asked her name.
You saw her resume.
Oh, that's
Which
right.
has her name. It has her name.
What was her name?
Judith.
I'm gonna go talk to Judith.
Judith Gibson. Yeah, so what do you say?
Judith, you're hired immediately. Can you please go to the pilot section and man the guns?
Sure. I got some training with that.
Do you actually have gunnery? You do have gunnery. Wow.
I read resumes.
Nice. All right, so
Okay.
yeah, you and Alistair are heading down to the back cargo hold where these guys are all revving their engines. As you get closer, you can hear the brah, 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 sound of the motorcycles. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna open the door, go out and talk to him.
Yeah, so the thing drops down, and hits the ground. And you see there are 12 guys on motorcycles, and they don't have weapons out or anything. You can now see what the guy was holding. It's that same guy from the other day, the Southern Hick, and he's holding Malcolm's head, and it's dripping, and his face is very drawn now, and his eyes are sunken, and he says, "I believe this is yours."
Where's the rest of the body?
Well, I have dogs.
They eat metal? Ooh, wait. They didn't eat everything, did they?
Of course they eat everything. They're pit bulls. They just eat and eat and eat. They don't care.
I elbow him before he says anything else, and just real quietly, maybe it's better not to mention that his dogs may or may not have eaten explosives that were wired into his body.
They ate what? Fluffy? And he drops the head on the ground, and he says, "Don't ever come back here again." And he revs his engine and bolts, and everybody else follows behind him.
I take the head.
What do you want to do with the head?
Should we mount it to the side of the ship as a warning for others? Maybe they'll take us more serious this time.
Yeah, I mean, what do you want to do with the head, Tacitus?
We have.
Can I before he does anything? Can I check to see if there's a bounty out on Malcolm's life anywhere?
Ooh.
You can check Facebook for that, probably. Like you could do a computer's check to just like search all known systems that you've been to. Let me see. There's an APB out for him on Balestros, but there's nothing. Like no one's offering a bounty on him yet. But there is an APB on Balestros for him.
I think we should preserve the head just in case.
I'm down with that.
All right. Then, Tacitus, you can put in your inventory one preserved head of one Malcolm Blackburn, who lasted an entire 2 weeks?
Something like that. Although I still did play a damn good holy man.
Dude, I want you to know I coughed up a little blood laughing at you're a eunuch. That fucking.
Oh,
I'm gonna go to Malcolm's room.
Yeah, in his room you see the shavings of wood and the screed against the Grit Bastards. You also see like Spacebook details about the Grit Bastard Motorcycle Club on Afra and its various chapters around the system, and all of his stuff is still there.
Where's the laser Desert Eagle?
I think that's probably like on a little like mounted. I don't know if you've ever seen. There are like these boxes that people make to put nice guns in and nice sort of mounted, and they have all the stuff with them. Yeah, there's an episode of Tested. It's a YouTube thing. It has Adam Savage. He builds one for a Blade Runner replica. That gun. It's just a little box, and it's like a little display case. It has little slots for all the various accoutrements, and it's in that because clearly he liked it a lot.
I take it.
All right, you now have a legal, a 50-watt legal. It's not 50 caliber, it's 50 watts.
0.50.
Yeah.
Is there anything else of value in this room?
I mean, there's another SMG that's silenced, and whatever. What else did he have on him? Let me find out.
I think it was
I'm gonna go
just,
grab a broom and start sweeping it up.
Yeah,
Okay,
so he
where's the
had he was wearing his woven body armor, so that's gone. He had his laser Desert Eagle. He owed you 1,000 credits. He had an SMG with a silencer on it, and that's it. He had no money to speak of. Probably some clothes.
Okay, I'll take the SMG too.
Okay, now you have 2 of those, I believe.
and I'll go give it to Judith.
Yeah. Who's at the pilot seat, I believe.
Hey, Judith. Welcome aboard. Good first start. Manning those guns. Here
Yeah.
is a smaller gun as a welcome present.
Yeah. Also, he had ammo, I think, with it.
Yeah, I had
you-
100 rounds. It wasn't listed there, but I
Yeah.
had 100 rounds.
100 rounds.
Thank you. I don't think I've ever been given a gun as a present before.
We do things differently on this ship.
Apparently so. All right. I'm gonna go put this in my quarters. Yeah.
Have you been assigned quarters yet?
Captain, could I get some quarters so I can put this somewhere?
Yeah, lucky for you, we just got a new
Cliff-
room opened up.
Clippy pops up on the screen with a roll of quarters. None of you recognize it.
What am I seeing, Clippy?
She was asking for quarters.
What are those?
Quarters.
Is trying to be funny.
I
Okay.
get it.
You don't recognize it either, Judith.
Oh, I thought I did.
I mean, if you want to roll a history check, you might recognize it.
Nah, I'm not gonna recognize it.
So Clippy you see Clippy with like a smile at the bottom of the screen. He goes, "They're quarters."
I'm ignoring the screen.
Clippy frowns and then clicks off the screen and goes back to its default look outside mode.
Okay. When you're done selling in your quarters, please meet me in the ready room.
You got it, Captain.
So I go back to the ready room.
This can only end well. Well done. Well done.
Wonderful. Yeah, so you have settled into your quarters. It's probably mid-afternoon at this point. Actually, no, I think it was 6 o'clock when they showed up. So it's probably in the evening now. What do you guys want to do?
Team meeting, ready room.
Yeah, so everybody files into the ready room, and you are standing at your usual spot wherever you stand at the table in the ready room. What do you want to do?
Price, can you pack away the waiting room?
I proceed to take down the Chinese curtain.
Okay. So I lay out all the information we have to get Judith up to speed. And I need to start soliciting options on what to do next. We could wait until this ship gets around again, the Cassius, and talk to the captain. But the trail might run cold. We could also try to break in to the Port Authority and try to steal the information. Or we could pursue another lead.
Maybe I could get in. Yeah, I was just discharged, but maybe I can walk in and have some contact with someone in the Port Authority.
I'm liking this plan. So what would you do? You'd walk in, you flash your badge. How would this work?
I would walk in, flash my badge, go in, try and find one of the computer terminals, walk up, get the information, walk out.
I kind of like this plan. We need to be sure what information we're getting.
Yeah, that'd probably be good. I would rather not download the entire system. That might be a little suspicious.
Right, yeah, we wanted to get specific CCTV videos for the time the Cassius was in port to see if our target was there or not. And if he got on transport or went somewhere else. That's why we went there. And so if we could get that information, that would be helpful.
Do we know when they were here?
Yes.
All right. Do we have a piece of paper or something we can write it down on? High-tech stuff doesn't go too well, as far as I remember, in the Port Authority. Low-tech, though. That's some good stuff.
That's just on this world. Like they don't. This is a tech level 3 world, so
We now have a really sweet clicky pen that we took from the Port Authority.
Perfect.
It may be the ship's only pen, though, so be careful.
Clippy comes up with stock prices and various companies that make pens. They're all very high, and the average it shows the average price of a pen is $38 or 38 credits.
Okay, I will not lose the pen. Do we have paper or something we can write on?
Clippy shows an image on the screen that shows the like it's a pie chart, and it's that classic like Word document pie chart, and it's all blue, and then the legend shows blue number of pens not on ship, or number of pieces of paper not on ship, a red number of pieces of paper on ship, and there's no red in the image at all.
Oh, shoot. So there's nothing to write on.
Clippy pulls up an image of your hand. Live.
I'm sure you can buy paper at Space Office Works, Space Staples.
Space
You
Max?
could probably dig through the
Spacels.
trash and find a piece of paper somewhere.
I mean, like, it's a tech level 3 world, so this is like current day technology. That's what you should think about. Maybe like 90s era technology is probably better. So like cell phones are big chunky blocks. People generally have paper available. You wouldn't have it on your ship, but it's pretty easy to come by, and it's not super expensive. It's I mean, it's like imagine Anytown, USA in the mid 90s.
I'll just go find a random flyer or something and tear it down and use that.
Also
Okay.
a good plan.
It will look less suspicious in case they catch it for whatever reason.
Okay.
So I'd go outside and just find a random flyer.
Yeah, you're able to find just some flyer for a local band. Dingoes Ate My Baby.
Perfect.
They're playing tonight at some bar.
I tear
The bar is actually called the Bronze.
it down and walk back to the ship and write down the information.
Okay.
All right, I'm liking this plan. So you'd go in, you'd hit the terminal. Would you upload the video if you found any to us? What's the plan with that?
Do we have like a USB stick or something?
Yeah, your phone has you can plug it into it, like you have a wire for it or something.
I'll just drop it on my phone here, and then when I get back, we can re-upload it. I don't want to try and make outgoing connections like that. That doesn't seem like a good idea.
Smart. All right, I'm liking this plan. Price, input?
I have none, no.
All right. Do you want to drive down there now?
Sure. Still my first day. Might as well try and make a better impression.
I'll be taking notes for your performance review. And Price, yours is coming up, so keep working.
Oh man.
So I guess we drive down to the station.
All right. So, are you guys all going in together, or is it just?
I'll go for moral support, but I'm gonna wait in the car.
Okay.
I'm going to stay at the ship because I don't have anything to do with that.
Okay.
Plausible deniability.
All right. Yeah. So you're at the ship with Clippy, and Clippy is showing you images of stuff. I guess I don't know. Whatever you're doing he's trying to help you with. Probably doing a poor job.
I'm taking care of my weekly release session that the captain told me to take care of.
There you go. And he's trying to help, but he keeps like you're looking up space porn, and he keeps bringing up like space porn you don't like. Like so you'll search for one thing, and he'll bring you up like just the just most gross German uh postmodern like art porn and stuff, and you're having a hard time with it. Pun intended.
2
The
space
other
girls,
guys,
1 space cup.
yes. And so diagonal wipe to Judith and Tacitus. You guys are outside the Port Authority. It's mid evening now, so it's like 7:30, 8 o'clock, local time. And you head in, Judith, to the Port Authority, and there's a guy behind the counter, and he rolls for accent because it's a different guy than before. And I took off my glasses, so I can't see where my button is. There it is. How may I help you, madame?
Hi, yes, I'm just here from off-world. I'm here
Oui.
on movement for deployment. I'm looking to just use one of the terminals to help schedule and make sure I'm going to the right place tomorrow.
Oui. May I see your identification?
Absolutely. I pull out my ID and I show him.
He takes your ID and he stares at it for a moment, and he runs it under his like little barcode scanner, and nothing happens. And he looks at it and goes, "Mate, this is not. It does not have a barcode. It does not work with my equipment. Do you have a different form of identification?"
No, I don't. This is from the Tech 4 world I was previously on. Is this not sufficient?
It is just that this world has. I am not here. I'm temporal. I am not permanent staff at this location. I am from Sluti in another system. From anyway, it is appears to be in good working correctness. Oui,
Indeed.
you are active.
I am.
And he looks at you and he sort of cocks his head, and he's not sure he believes you. Can you make a a persuasion test against your charisma? Look, yeah, you may use this terminal over here. I warn you, if you're from a less backward civilization, it will be slow and painful for you. But you may use at your leisure. And he hands you back your ID.
Thank you, sir. And I proceed to walk over to the terminal.
Oui, oui. Next, Proximon. And he beckons over the next person in line. You walk over to the terminal. It's running, it's just like a CRT monitor, and it's got like a black screen with a green text on it, and it's just blinking, saying "Enter command."
I pull out the piece of paper and I start typing in commands to try and pull down that information.
Yeah. Can you make a computers test against your intelligence?
This can only go well.
Yeah, you fuddle around with it for a minute. It actually takes you probably 20 minutes to like get to the point where you've run the right things, and a couple of times the guy looks over at you and just says, "Is everything okay? Do you need help?"
No, I'm good. Computers aren't my main forte, but I'm getting there. I'm good. Feel free to not worry about me.
Very well. And he calls over the next person in line or whatever. You manage to get there. You can enter the data. You find that there's some CCTV footage. What are you looking for exactly here?
I am looking for any CCTV footage of the time the Conseco was docked, from the time it was docked until it
The
took off.
Cassius, you mean?
Cassius.
Cassius, sorry.
Yeah, so you look for the Cassius and you find some CCTV footage for when it was docked. You see on the footage someone is getting off the ship around. It was probably 5 days ago, give or take. 5 or 10 days ago. It's not. I mean, I gotta think and figure out the math on it. Not the most recent time it was here, but the time before that. Someone was getting off the ship, and headed out of the Port Authority. Yeah, that's what you see.
I download that to my phone.
Okay. You doing anything else? Or are you done?
No, I'm done.
All right, so you close out of that pretty quickly, and yeah. What do you want to do now?
I walk out while saying
All
thank
right.
you as I walk out.
He says, "Dylan," and moves on to back to his work.
I go and I get in the Jeep thing that we're renting.
Okay. Tassus, what do you do when she gets in?
Immediately drive off.
All right. Yeah, you're heading back to the ship.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What do you guys do when you get back to the ship, or on the way there?
Oh, I only do something when I get back.
Do you do anything on your way there, Judith?
No, I'm good. I'm just playing Space Angry Birds on my phone.
Angry space birds.
Angry Space Birds, yes.
Yeah. And so you guys get back to the ship. 5 minutes later, you're pretty close by. Um, what do you do when you get back there?
Let's go to the ready room. Review what you got.
Okay.
All right, everybody's in the ready room now.
All right, let's take a look at the tape.
Uh,
Price, can you dim the lights first?
Proceed to dim the lights.
I think Clippy does it for you, actually. They go up and down a few times before they do it. All right.
I plug in my phone and I proceed to upload the video.
Yeah, everybody sees the same thing. They see somebody. Tassus, did you ever show Judith the mugshot of Harold?
I don't think I specifically ever said it. I believe I gave her a stack of documents. But I don't think I ever specifically said this is the guy.
Okay, well, so you recognize the guy as being Harold pretty rapidly. It's like, oh yeah, this is Harold, this guy we're looking for. It just shows him leaving the Port Authority. It doesn't really show where he's going or anything, but you do see that he got off, and that's the only footage she brought back. So that's all you see.
Okay, put the lights back up. So that was a good clue. We at least know he's on planet. But where would he have gone on planet?
Creepy biker bar.
But he's not a creepy biker. He's ex-army.
Creepy army bar.
Are there creepy army bars around?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm new to this world.
Price? Thoughts?
None of them that are good or helpful or useful.
So the question is, where would a man who's wanted go on this planet? I think it's something military. But we did find information about his friend earlier. But we didn't find any information. For if he even is on this planet. But maybe they met up. I guess it's possible.
So we have no idea where he could have gone or if he's even still on planet. We just know he was here 5 days ago.
That's correct. I would think he's still on planet, though. Because if he didn't want to be on here, why did he get off on the ship?
Well, the Conseco didn't leave yet, did it?
The Cassius?
Cassius,
Cassius.
yes, it did. Left
The
yesterday.
planet definitely didn't leave.
Planet's still there, but the Cassius left yesterday.
Unless he's transferring to another ship.
It's possible.
We could maybe see if we can get CCTV for outside the port.
I have an idea. Hold on.
Okay.
What's your idea?
I want to say that there's a service that you can buy and you can forge legal documents. What if we forge the bounty hunting license and we go back and get the information from Captain Dickhead at the Port Authority?
Possible. What information would we want?
I guess we already got the CCTV footage.
I mean, we could get the captain's name, but I don't think that's going to be really helpful.
There is forged identity papers. It's 500 average cost. Might be more or less depending on who you talk to.
What information could we get? Would the captain's name help us, though? Because the ship's already left.
Well, we could
It's not
try
a
to
big
hit him
deal.
up for information, but I don't know how friendly he is with that guy. Probably a lot if he moved him. So I don't know what sort of help he'd give us.
Well, judging by your friend and his corpse overhead,
I don't want to listen.
I would say a corpse should need the full body. This is just a head.
regardless, I would like to make the motion that we do not go near any creepy bars with bikers. I like my head where it is. Please.
What was the name of his unit again?
I didn't
It's like
actually.
the 107th.
It's like the 107th of something. I don't know. It's some generic unit name. It's not special. It's not like he was in the special forces or anything.
And the only person in his squad we found was that guy on the other planet?
Yeah. Well, you found it seemed like he's the only guy who's still alive. Yeah. So he's from Garrick Zane. He's from that system. It didn't say where he was. Just said where he was from.
Could we do another search and see if we can find if he's arrived recently on this planet?
Yeah. I don't know where you want to search, but you could probably find something.
Arrival records? Is that possible?
For this shipyard, yeah, but it's sort of a similar problem to the other one. You have to probably bribe someone or otherwise persuade them to give them to you.
Okay.
I mean, we know where this guy is from. We could go to that system and ask questions.
We could go to that guy. I'd be pretty reticent to leave this planet knowing the target's around.
We
Like the
think
time of
he's
the-
still around. He might
That's
have
true.
left.
Could have moved.
And at this point, I think we've kind of hit a bit of a dead end. Because all we have is he got off the ship based on that footage. We don't know much else beyond that.
In my search that I did for public records of ships arriving and leaving, can I do a sort of similar search? I want to see what ships are going to that friend's planet.
To Garrick Sane? So
Yeah.
the Cassius goes from that's the trade route it travels. Is Asa to Afra to Garrick Sane.
Oh, so if he wanted to go on there, he would have just stayed on. So it implies to me there's some reason he's on this planet. Because if he wanted to go to his friend's planet, he would have just stayed on the ship.
Well, that's true. Where do we begin looking for him?
I'm not sure.
If he's going to be here, he's probably going to be here for a little while. even a couple weeks. We might be able to kind of jump down to the other system, ask a couple questions, then come back maybe.
Who would we ask questions to? His friend?
Yeah, his friend or people that know his friend. And then once we find his friend, we can ask him and get all the information we can from him.
Do we have his friend's address?
You have the address that was in the records from his military service that you acquired.
All right, that's good enough. How far away is this other planet?
Couple of jumps.
Yep, 3
Is
sectors.
it 3?
Yep, it's an HO 406.
Maybe we should leave someone here. Wait, how many ports does this planet have? Like a lot? Or just one major?
There's sort of, you're in the one major city. There are like 3 shipyards here, 3 different major ports that people park in. And this is like the main city that you would go to. Yeah, you could basically think about planets as basically just being one big city in general. Whether it's a planet spanning city or just sort of a single major city that acts as the main hub.
So if he arrived at this port I'm thinking is probably closest to whatever he wants to go to. Maybe someone should stay here and monitor the port in case he tries to leave.
I could do that, I think.
I think
You think that's a
I
good
think
idea?
Clippy pops up and just pulls up a Spacepedia article on like logical fallacies. And it's the logical fallacy of unstated major premise. And Clippy is just like, it looks like you're making an unstated major premise. Would you like help with that?
Yes.
We don't. It just says you haven't established that anyone is anywhere yet. All you know is where they were from, and the only thing that you know for sure is that this guy got out of the Port Authority at some point a week ago. You don't know where anybody is for sure, and you don't even know that anybody would tell you anything about this guy. And then it pulls up the Spacepedia page for friend, like the Spationary, the dictionary, and notes that the definition includes a line about friends not betraying trust, and it looks like Clippy just edited that because it's like written in his sort of prose, and it just notes that friends tend not to rat out other friends. That's all. That's all he says. And it's smiley Clippy at the bottom of the screen.
All right, what ideas do you have, Clippy?
Clippy says, "It looks like you're trying to have an idea. Would you like help with that?"
Yes.
Too bad I can't help you. And then he goes back to smiley Clippy.
Clippy, have you ever considered seeing an electronic therapist?
Clippy pulls up a Spacepedia article on Eliza, and then goes back to smiley Clippy.
Eliza?
You should look that up on actual Wikipedia sometime. It's the computer program Eliza is the name. Anyway, yeah, Clippy just then the last thing he pulls up is the Wikipedia article on GM railroading.
Well, I'm fresh out of ideas.
So, to Jarek Sane?
I'm gonna go hit up some of the local bars and see if we can just find him at one of the bars. Because if he's an ex-military guy, more than likely he has a drinking problem.
Bit of a stereotype. I sort of like the Jarek Sane idea, but it's so far away. I feel like we really would blow some time trying to go there. For maybe a tenuous link at best.
Okay. If you guys want to hit up some of the local bars, feel free. But I'm going to stay in the car.
Maybe there's something you can research. I'm not sure what. If we had some sort of criminal contact, maybe it could tell us where such a person would go.
I'm gonna check my space mailbox to see if I have a reply from Peanuts.
Ooh. I don't know how long it's
No
been.
reply from Peanuts. It's been less than a day. Last you know, he was on Paland, which is 3 hexes away. It takes 3 days per hex for information or people to travel, so it'll be at least a week and change.
Well, I don't know any criminal contacts, and I'm trying to avoid being criminally.
Yeah, we
So,
are.
as a rule, you can roll culture criminal at your -1. It's like you're trying to make a contact or something. Failing a roll on a culture thing doesn't necessarily mean that you don't know somebody. It just means that they might not like you very much, or they might have some other beef. You might owe them money, or there's some other complication to that relationship. So.
Yeah, I think it's worth giving a shot. We should maybe see if we know criminals who could tell us maybe criminal safe houses. Maybe he knows some people that he's with.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Well, somebody had to have put up the bounty. We should contact them for any additional information.
That idea sounds fantastic.
Didn't we get all the information when?
So you got the bounty posting, but you didn't like follow up with the person who posted it or anything. You just pulled the bounty and started following leads. That's back on ASA where you pulled up the bounty information. Although the bounty is all over the northern, the U.S., the Unified Society. So.
Well, we could always send mail, and they could send what they know.
It's also going to be about 9 days transit time.
Might as well we just get it started. Worst case, we don't use it.
Yeah, okay. Let's get that going. So what are we doing here now?
I'm gonna go hit up some bars. I'll be back.
All right.
Okay.
I just walk out.
All right. So yeah, Alistair just walks out. Do you have any money, Alistair?
I have $200.
Awesome. You should be able to buy plenty of drinks with 200 credits. Okay. So you're walking out. Tassus and Judy, what are you doing?
Still brainstorming in the ready room.
I'm gonna go check out the ship's engines and other mechanical things. See if I can start learning how this thing works better on a personal level.
All right. Sure, digging around the ship, looking for stuff. Tassus, what are you gonna do?
I'm going to think for a while.
All right, yeah. So I think what we see is like the meeting starts to break up, and it just focuses on a close-up of Tacitus with his head in his hands, thinking very hard about the problem. And then in the background, you see Clippy just smiling, and there's like a Spacepedia article on, or not Spacepedia, but like a space maps thing of all the local bars in the area. And one of them is called McGoynigan's Irish Pub, and it zooms in on like a satellite image, and then the camera goes through, and we see Alistair walking into the McGoynigan's Pub. And yeah, you walk in, it's like an Irish bar. There's some sports of undecipherable origin on the screen. The smell of smoke and beer in the air. What do you want to do?
Walk right up to the bar and order a beer.
Yeah, the guy behind the bar says, yeah, and he points at a couple different brands of beer and says, what do you want?
The local stout.
And he pulls it, it's on tap, and he puts it in front of you and says, you open in a tab?
No, I'm just gonna have the one.
All right, he's give 3 credits or something. It's cheap.
Give him 4. Gotta give the tip to the bartender.
He tips his hat at you and says, "Thanks, sir," and goes back to bartending. It's not super busy. There's a couple other people at the bar, a couple people sitting at tables, having some food.
Motion the bartender to come back over for a second.
Yeah, he walks over when he gets a chance. He's just cleaning glasses. He says, "What can I do for you?"
Yeah, I ran into this guy a couple days ago. I was wondering if you've seen him around. You'd know him if you saw him. He's his dental situation isn't so good. If you know what I'm saying. He's like got a couple
Are you
teeth.
showing him a picture, like on your phone or something?
No, just motioning that he's only got like 2 teeth.
He goes, "Why? Are you a friend of his?"
Yeah, I ran into him a couple days ago, and he actually left something. I was trying to get it back to him. You know where he's at?
Yeah, son. I haven't seen him ever before. Sorry. And he walks over to clean some more glasses. You do not have empathy, so I can't help you in that regard.
Motion him back over, and
He sighs a bit and looks at you and says, "What?"
I put 50 credits down and slide it across the bar. You still don't know where he's at?
He goes, "You know what your problem is, son?
What's that, buddy?
You're not a very good liar. That man doesn't have any friends." He pushes the 50 credits back at you.
Well, of course not. Do you have some beef with him?
Let me put it this way. I don't want to get in his way. I don't want to get in your way. Just a bartender.
Could you maybe point me in a direction?
So what happens when he finds out after he's done killing you that I pointed you in the direction? What do you think happens to me?
He doesn't have to find out, and who says anything about killing anybody?
Let's be honest. Remember what I told you about not being a very good liar?
I didn't actually kill anybody, but I know people that have killed people.
So here's my count so far, buddy. You told me you were his friend, which is definitely not true. And then you told me that he wouldn't have to find out that I told him, I told you where he was, which is also definitely not true, because he would find out, because he would kill you, and before he killed you, you would talk. I don't want any part of it. I just serve beer. That's it. Don't want any trouble, you know?
I'm not looking to give you any trouble. What would it take to get the information?
It would take a lot more than 50 credits.
Fair enough. I leave him 10 credits, and I leave.
All right. Yeah, and he takes your glass and cleans it out and says thank you, and you walk out the door.
I head back to the ship.
All right. So it's now you're probably searching for a couple hours, so it's probably around midnight. Tim, can you mark off another day?
Yep.
What do you do when you get back to the ship?
Find Tessus and let him know that the bartender at I can't pronounce.
McGoinigans.
Yeah, McGoinigans. Pretty much has some information, but he's not willing to part with it, at least to me. And may need some cash to do it, and wanted to know if maybe he wanted to go talk to him instead.
It's an interesting avenue.
He's afraid that Toothless McGee is just going to kill us and then go find him and torture him, and he's scared.
So, did you get the impression that he knew where he was, or that he had been to the bar?
Both. He definitely knew who he was, knew exactly who he was, and didn't want to even point me in the right direction because he was afraid that the guy was just going to come back and kill him.
Why would he go to a bar? Just to drink?
Well, he made the comment specifically that guy doesn't have any friends. So I'm
Clippy
assuming he's
pops
a
up on the
major
screen.
asshole.
Clippy pops up on the screen with just the word yes. When you say, why would you go to a bar just to drink? He just says yes. And then he's standing there smiling. He's got a little clip art beer in his
I feel like it'd
clippy
be
hand.
animated too. Like
Yeah, it's
90s
animated. It's
style.
got like the foam, the head is pouring off the top of it and like down the side. And he's holding it with just like the little metal edge, not like a hand or anything.
Is McGoinigan's the closest bar to the Port Authority?
It is not. It is just a bar. Basically, Alistair went on a bit of a pub crawl and found a couple. It just asked around. You just went and asked. That's why it took 4 hours or whatever.
Why would he go to a bar that isn't the closest one to the Port Authority? Wouldn't he just go to the closest one to the port?
Clippy pops up the Spacepedia article on overthinking.
Is the bar near anything important? Near any like industry or?
Clippy just selects the overthinking article and clicks it and makes it blink a few times.
Did you get this bartender's name?
I didn't.
So we know this bartender might know something. We also know that maybe this guy visited McGoinigan's.
Yes. But it's lead, and we don't have to lead the planet.
That's a good point. I'm still convinced to stay here as well.
Where's the newbie at? Maybe we should ask her opinion.
Good point. I'm
It
going to
is-
say
It is midnight, so if someone's asleep, then they should, say something.
No, I'm still tinkering.
I'm thinking maybe we should monitor the bar because he might be back.
Ooh, you want to do a stakeout?
Yeah.
We gotta get a crappy car and some donuts, though, if we're gonna do a proper stakeout.
Oh, for sure. Do we still have the car with the donut on it?
Yeah, you probably have repaired. Actually, no, it's only been like a day. So yeah, it's in the back of the ship or something.
Crappy car? Check.
I'll get donuts first thing in the morning. Clippy, are there any Russian cafes anywhere near that bar?
Clippy pulls up a space maps thing and looks for. It's just like a search for cafe, Russian. And you see like there's a few, but none near that bar.
Fantastic.
All right, I'm liking this plan.
I want to send a anonymous get well card back to Sergey.
Okay, yeah, you can. You have to make a computer's check to see how anonymous it is. Against your intelligence. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you send a get well card thing to Sergey. I need to write something down.
All right, I think we should start the stakeout as soon as possible.
You go right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been drinking beer for 4 hours, so I'm gonna go get some coffee.
Good plan, good plan.
One second, I'm doing a thing, and then I'll catch up. Actually, we've been going for a little while. If you want to take like a 5-minute break, we'll be back at 10 p.m. I need to write this because you're going to get a reply pretty soon from.
All right.
Might you want to just call it a night? It's getting close to.
Actually,
It is Sunday.
Yeah, let's. I think we should call it a night. Because this is a good stopping point too. Because you're about to start the stakeout.
Stakeout.
Yeah. So
We
this
could
is a
be staking
two-parter.
out all week.
This is yeah. There you go. It's a two-parter. We're staking out all week. Well, we're not really staking out all week. It's sort of TV time. So you're going to stake out for a long period of time, which actually takes up no time at all. It's like, yeah, we've been staking out all week. It's the same fucking date as it was before. What is the date right now, Tim?
25th.
25th. Let me put that in my little thing. Dink. There it is. Nov 25. 3259. Okay. Let's see. What did you do today? You so Mal died. Judith got
Great loss that it was.
Mal's head still in possession of Tacitus. Gross. Staking out Herald on Afra. Let's see. Did you guys do anything else today?
I fulfilled the goal.
What was your goal?
I will find a good crew I can be a part of as a pilot.
Yeah. So let's see. Find a crew. Let's see. Level 1. I always have to look this up. I haven't committed it to memory yet.
It's like 0 to 100 XP or something like that.
1 is trivial, is 10 to 100. You can have 50 experience for that.
Cool.
I completed my goal of meeting a useful contact.
Who's that?
The bartender.
Did you get his name?
I didn't.
Then you didn't really meet him.
I don't know if I buy that. You don't need a name to have met someone.
He'd know me. I tried to give him money.
I mean, he sees a lot of people every. Let me put it this way: you're going to get more experience if you learn his name and can call him back. So
Fair enough.
You can clear it now, and I'll give you the experience.
Nope.
Or you can
I'll wait.
Okay. Did anybody else complete a goal?
Nope.
Okay. Cool. All right. Good session, everybody.
Good session.
And I will see you next week. Now, did we want to do this on Thursday this week? Have people given that thought? Or do we want to do it on Saturday still?
I can do
I'm
either.
fine with Thursdays. Yeah.
I have no opinion.
Is it basically nobody has any opinion?
Yeah,
It looks that way.
Yeah. Why don't we shoot
right.
for Thursday and have Saturday as our backup?
I like that.
Yeah. Well, okay, so we'll do it Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel. That's good, because I'm going to try to... I want to find a game that I can play in, so I'm going to, I don't know, look for a pub game or something. But I need to know what my schedule is going to be like for that. So, I will see you all on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
All right.
Later.
Later, people.